Hello and welcome to Growing Up Strong. I'm Tony May. This show is dedicated to you and your family and helping them grow up healthy, safe, and strong. If you have children or grandchildren and are searching for a child care center, this show is for you. We're going to give you tips that could make the difference between your child succeeding once they go to kindergarten. So sit back and relax. You might want to even take notes. Joining me this evening is Jennifer Coleman, a program officer with Children's Services Council. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
No worries, and we're here in this great child care center known as a Strong Minds Center. So what is Strong Minds?
Strong Minds is a voluntary quality rating improvement system here in Palm Beach County. And Strong Minds participating programs voluntarily commit to a quality improvement process. So they are opening their doors to program assessment, and then they use those assessment results to really have a roadmap to their quality improvement. So Strong Minds Quality Improvement System is support and resources to our early care and education programs in Palm Beach County.
Why is early quality care so important? So you see some 2-year-olds behind us, they have babies here up until 5 when they go to kindergarten. Why is that age so important that you have this kind of quality care?
What we know is that children who receive high quality child care enter school more ready in math, language, and social emotional development.
Wow.
And those are critical for success, not only in school but in life. So we also know that parents who know that their children are in a safe environment, know that their children are being nurtured, know that their children are being stimulated, can go to work and be stress-free and not worry where their children are. So high quality childcare is not only good for children, it's not only good for families, it's really good for the community, it's really good for society. High quality childcare is good for everyone.
And by high quality, there are certain standards, there are certain benchmarks you guys check when you come into a room like this and you kind of observe the teacher, and it has a lot to do with the interaction with the students.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So that relationship between the teacher and the child is a really, really important one. And so, yes, we have program assessments that look at the interactions. We also are thinking about what is the teacher saying? What kind of open-ended questions are they asking? How are they extending that child's learning, scaffolding their learning? Not just, can you name this object, but what could we use it for? What kind of environment is it in? So we're looking at the teacher really being able to take their learning to another level, and that's within that interaction. It's also really important, that relationship. It's the foundation for all learning. We call it a secure attachment when children are infants and toddlers. And you'll see that with maybe parents in the grocery store with the child at their side, and the child will want to go pick up something on the aisle, but they'll kind of look at their parent first to see if it's okay. And then they go a little further and they look back.
Right.
That's that secure attachment. You need it to explore your environment. You need it to be curious, and it's really the basis for all learning. So that strong relationship in the classroom equals a secure attachment and more opportunity for that child to feel comfortable and confident to go and explore the world.
Well, we got a chance to talk to some other experts about how important that is and visit some other child care centers. So we're going to pause and let you take a look at that.
Yes, we used to have about 300 to 400 parents at graduation.
How many?
300 to 400.
When you walk into a preschool like this one, it is no secret that the kids are at the heart of every decision.
What you doing?
I'm coloring the house.
Coloring the house. Very nice job, sweetheart.
Also a Head Start classroom. We do have Head Start here. We have
And then another
5
one
Head Start
underneath.
classrooms, and this is also a Head Start, a VPK classroom
Okay.
as well.
What type of activities do you have here?
Recently, 2 weeks ago, we had Family Fun Day. We had about 70 parents to come on a Friday at
Wow.
lunchtime. It was just awesome.
That's
We have
great.
trainings for the parents. We have finance training. We have how to buy a home. We
Children's
have-
Services Council CEO Lisa Williams points to this and other programs that target birth to 5 years as proof positive that early intervention works.
Everything that happens with these children, especially between 0 and 5, sets them up for the future. If we can target early, if we can find out if there's anything going on developmentally, if we can if we can help them enter school ready to learn, we know, the research says that if you get them ready for school when they enter, they're much more likely to graduate. And we all know that when children graduate and people graduate, they're entering the workforce ready to become a productive member of society. You can see that they're focused on, with some children, they're writing their letters and their alphabet and their names. They're engaged in dramatic play. One of the things I notice is that everything is on the child level. So that's really important to engage children, that everything is right where they can see it. So, and it's really interesting how they have building station, science station, math station, all those things that kids need to be doing so that they're ready to enter school. So, and they look like they're having a blast in there.
I did it like this. I did it up and down.
The studies are rigorous on quality early education and consistently come out with the same conclusion. It works.
We're able to individualize instruction. We're able to look at what are the expectations relative to standards, and what are the kinds of things that we can provide to help that child learn through developmentally appropriate practice and, quite frankly, through play.
To implement this kind of education and outreach can take time and training. That's why this group of child care workers, educators, and daycare center owners spent an entire Saturday learning the very latest and best ways to reach their kids.
That's kind of what today is all about. You're here to interact with one another, to mingle with one another, to smile with one another, and most importantly, learn from each other and teach each other. So look at these faces here. That's how you know.
Our whole focus is solutions, protocols. We do protocols and we, come up with solutions.
Finding answers to questions like what's the best way to calm a toddler or share basic lessons with a 2-year-old, all of these answers come in the form of data-driven programs like Strong Minds.
The program will help them enhance the quality of their programs. It'll help them enhance the quality of their curriculum. It will help for them to focus more on intentional adult-child interactions, which are extremely important. The whole goal is for us to increase the outcomes of our children so that they enter kindergarten really ready to learn.
Most parents, grandparents, and caregivers might not realize that babies are learning, even in the earliest months of life, so it is critical to reach them with quality education.
We know the importance that starting early is really the critical component for children to be successful, and the earlier that we can begin that process, the more successful that child will be when they enter kindergarten. So we don't want to catch them at the 3-year-old or the 4-year-old stage. We want to catch them the minute they hit that door.
That's why the centers that are a part of the Strong Minds system will see better outcomes when the children get to school.
So that's what parents really need to know, that when they're out shopping for childcare, which is a difficult job unto itself, the fact that they have to leave their children, that they have to trust people that they don't know, at least they know that in Palm Beach County that we are so intentional about wanting children not only safe and loved and nurtured, but they're also learning, and we're helping them to grow up to be adults that will be very productive members of society.
I talk to principals, and principals say, oh, I know where this child has been prior to coming into my school, because I can see it in the way that they come in prepared and ready to just pick up and just start right off in kindergarten.
I think maybe if the parents were more aware of what we do every day, more aware of all of our requirements, and more aware of how much we give. It's so much more than babysitting.
This is just one of the many days of extra training and support that the Children's Services Council puts on for their partners in the path to help kids grow up healthy, safe, and strong.
So Jennifer, we saw there your CEO, Lisa, kind of touring one of the other centers in Boca. The interaction is what I am just mesmerized by. My kids are older. They're 21 and 22. I wish I had this kind of information. But the teacher behind us, for instance, has been playing with these children for a while, and there seems to be such a good relationship. Is that part of what you all look for and also support with the Strong Minds?
Exactly that. So because Strong Minds Network is a network of supports and resources for early childhood programs, we offer career advising so that they can take professional development, college level credit coursework, informal training. We provide scholarships for that, all about how to have those high quality interactions, and lots of other best practices. We also offer technical assistance. So a technical assistance specialist can come and meet with not only the early childhood program leader or family child care home owner operator or school district site, because we have many different types of early care and education programs, meet with them and help support them increase the quality, not only of their interactions in the classroom, but of so many early childhood quality components, because it's really a puzzle quality. It's about a lot of different things. You can see the environment behind us is, that's a big piece of it. Having those developmentally appropriate materials and having the ability to let the child explore and play and learn.
And not only that, but the parents' involvement in this. I know when I was studying the Strong Minds information, it said that the parental involvement is part of the whole process. Talk about that.
So we support Strong Minds early care and education providers to create a culture where they partner with parents, where they respect parents as their child's first and most significant teacher.
Okay.
And that's really the truth. So the way they do that is through a child assessment. So they're implementing and using a child assessment tool where they're observing the child's play, and then they get to partner with the parents and share those observations, celebrate those milestones together. Also potentially detect any red flags as early as possible. So that really engages the parent in the child's learning, which we know is really important and impacts school readiness.
So I read also in your information that a child's brain is 90% developed between 0 and 5. So what you're talking about isn't just something, oh yeah, let's do this Strong Minds and let's check on the teachers. It's actually based on decades of research in brain development. Isn't that right?
Yes, it's amazing. It's such a time of rapid development for children. It's a vulnerable time, but it's a great opportunity for them too. So all of the Strong Minds supports are really grounded in research-based best practices, taking into consideration that at every age we have best practice, developmentally appropriate practices. So Strong Minds supports their curriculum and instruction with technical assistance to help guide them with that. We also support technical assistance in, accreditation, which brings the site to a different level. But all the things that they have to have in place in order to maximize that time in a child's life.
So before we go, and I'm going to put up some tips, give some quick tips if a parent is looking at a center. I know you have your checklist when your assessors go in. I'm sure the parents can kind of check some of those same items, and they would love grandparents to hear more.
Sure, that's a great question, and I know when I am a parent, but I know when I was looking for a pre-K or even a toddler program, I had my own list, and so every parent and every family is unique, and you definitely will have what's unique to you, and remember that when you go and you look at these early care and education programs. And like I said, we have family child care programs, we have large family child care programs, we have school district site programs, and we have centers. So when you're looking, every program is going to be unique, but what you're looking for is for them to be the right fit for you. So is it a safe environment? Are there nurturing interactions going on? Is there low staff turnover? Are they committed to continuous quality improvement? Do they support the professional development of their teachers? Do they have that culture of respect and partnership with parents? And you can feel that as you talk to the program leader. You can feel that in the environment, and you can feel that when you watch the teacher and the child have those moments together.
Well, thank you. They're such good tips. You're so lucky you knew all that when you were going to look for your children's child care center. I'd just like to say we should all know all of this. Thank you so very much for joining us. It was great information. And we're going to pause for a moment, and as we said, give you some more tips that you may want to jot down or share with your caretaker. We'll be right back. So you heard Jennifer and I talk about what it takes to be a child care center that's a Strong Minds center. Why would anyone want to go through the extra work? Because it is extra work. Well, we're going to find out more now. We are, as you've seen in our show, at a beautiful center here in Boca Raton, and we're with the executive director. Nice to meet you, Kathy.
Nice to meet you too.
So here in your center, years ago, you decided to be a Strong Minds program. Why?
Obviously, to improve outcomes for children. It's all about the children, and to really make that relationship with the teacher and the child the most important thing. The class tool is what we're assessed on, and emotional support is one of the domains that we're assessed on. And providing that emotional support for the kids and the classroom structure, the instructional support, those are all really important things to help children be ready for kindergarten.
So you've been doing this for 30 years.
30 years.
So you haven't always had a program like Strong Minds here. So talk about the differences you see in a child when they're ready to leave you and go on to kindergarten today with Strong Minds as compared to 10 years ago when you didn't have Strong Minds. What's the difference in that child?
Well, back 10 years ago, we were accredited then, but we were not in what was quality counts then. And something was missing from quality counts. It was really more about the environment, which is a very important aspect, when it comes to children and learning. But something was missing. And we realized that once we got into Strong Minds, it was the perfect tool. It was the class tool, which it's so important for that child-teacher relationship, which is the aspect of the emotional support.
Right.
They first form a bond with the kids, and that is through just greeting them daily, doing your little rituals with them, getting to know the parents also. But once they form that relationship, it opens, the kids like blossom. They want to learn. And the teachers, when they do their lesson plans, they do them around the children, actually. They have a basically set lesson plan, but the children kind of direct the learning, because if they're curious, if they're outside on the playground, they're curious about, say, a butterfly that flew by.
Right.
And they really show interest in that, then we'll go with that. We'll order the little larvae and we'll hatch butterflies, because it's something they're all inquisitive about. Children really, they learn more if they're excited about their learning and they're inquisitive about things.
So your teachers, to be a Strong Minds trainer, they do some special training, is that right?
Yes.
And then what about the parents? I think from what Jennifer said, they're kind of key to the success of the whole program as well, is that right?
Right. We try to get our parents involved, because we know that parents that are involved in their child's education, the children are much more successful. Studies have shown that. So we try to bring our parents in and get them involved, whether it's, maybe story time and they can come and be readers at our center, or they can make an activity to go in the classroom. It's very important that they're a part of it, because the children get excited when their parents, they come and they see their work, they're excited to see that, and it makes the child very proud. And so they learn.
So when a parent's touring your center and they're looking for quality, childcare each and every day, some of us leave our kids 8 hours. Right. So you guys are kind of the parents of the day. How do you explain to them, well, we're a Strong Minds center. Right. So that means what? Different ways you question children, more open-ended. What does that mean to the child's experience here?
First thing that I tell my parents, and I always mention Strong Minds because it's very important to me, but I think it's a great thing to have in Palm Beach County. I tell the parents, number one, we are not only accredited, but we're a part of the Strong Minds network, and we're in network. It goes back to that child-parent, or that child-teacher relationship, which is so important. We provide the emotional support for the child. The teacher in the classroom does the instruction. There's a domain called instructional support, and in that, they really go into detail. So when a parent comes to my center and tours, the first thing I tell them about is that we're an in-network provider for Strong Minds, which I'm very proud of. And I tell them it's about the relationship. It's not only about the relationship that a teacher has with the child. We provide that emotional support for the child that's so important for parents that work 8 or 10 hours a day. You know, when they come in, we're a happy face to see, and they feel part of a family here. And we try to bring the parents in that aspect too. But Strong Minds really is about providing the children with the tools that they need to really be successful in life. And that entails a lot of things. I mean, not only the teacher-child relationship, but how the teacher teaches. You know, what she teaches. Does it have objectives and outcomes? Because everything that we teach, it needs to have an objective. Say, for example, if we're teaching the children a activity, the teachers need to list on their lesson plans language activity, physical activity, whatever it is.
So it's not just sitting down and coloring, you're saying. There's a point to the activities, and I might not realize it because I'm not trained, but there's a methodology behind it so that activity is helping that child learn and be ready for kindergarten.
Absolutely. In our center, we have large group time where we talk about maybe what we're going to do that day. If we're going to maybe go out and explore nature, we'll talk about what we're going to do. And then when the teacher comes back in with the students, they will have center time where they can pick and choose. As you see, you know, we have 4 children can play in housekeeping, so they know that automatically. 4 children can go there. And during that time, we'll break the kids into a small group. And that's where the teacher really focuses on those things like fine motor skills, language development. It could be a social activity with other children. But that allows her to really work more one-on-one with the children. And that's really important because, you know, sometimes in a classroom, you might focus more on a child that has behavior issues than the child who's very well behaved. But in Strong Minds, it's very, very important that we make sure that we make that connection with all the children in the classroom and provide that emotional support. Even though they don't act like they need it, we know that it's important that we notice those children too every day.
So in wrapping up, why should a parent, I mean, there's hundreds of Strong Minds centers here in Palm Beach County with Children's Services Council. Why should a parent really look for a center that provides what they do, what yours and these others do? Would they feel more confident when their child goes to kindergarten? Would their child just be better disciplined and not acting out? Like, what is, just in a few sentences, what is the benefit of saying, hey, are you a Strong Mind Center? Yeah. Okay, parent, maybe put that at the top of your list.
Right. Well, we know children start learning very, very young. That birth to 5 years, children are like little sponges. So even in my infant room, I call them brain builders because that's such an important age that they make those connections, that the children we're using a lot of rich language in there. And the earlier, the better, because we know that children that start very early are in a good quality center. The outcomes for those children are better. They're better readers, they're better in math. I mean, studies have shown that. So the class tool really encompasses all that. There's a lot of little dimensions in the class tool, and I couldn't even name them all right now.
Well, we've certainly learned so much. I appreciate it, and I especially appreciate you letting us kind of crash the party here. And they're so well behaved. I'm thinking Strong Minds also helps with behavior because we have been here quite some time, and they are such well-behaved children. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us, and we know we've given you tons of information. Here's a few tips on how to look for a Strong Mind Center and where to find more information on the CSC website. Thank you, and please join us again next time on Growing Up Strong. Until then, good night.